Today I am taking the most popular quilt and I am giving it a glow up, and it's actually going to glow in the dark. Now, this is either the best Halloween project ever or a very scary mess. Spooky. I'm not going to use any Halloween fabrics or fabrics that glow in the dark because that would be cheating. But take a look at what we've got. But before we test all of this out, let's talk about our very lovely quilt. Like I said, no fabrics with pumpkins, bats or spiders, but I did want it to look like a Halloween quilt. So I got fabrics with Halloween colors, so orange, purple and black, and a polka dotted version because, you know, who doesn't love polka dots? As for the pattern, I am keeping it easy but stunning with a 9-patch quilt block, you know, the most beginner level, quickest quilt block you can make. Let's cut some 3-inch strips. I'm also adding white to our mix. Look at these. I could make squares out of these and be done with it. And I want a block in each color, okay? I'm not going to mix them up. And the reason for this is the same as why I'm using simple fabrics. In my head, if I apply the glow-in-the-dark materials to busy fabric, it won't be as nice. I'm afraid it will all turn out to be a big mess and I just don't want that. I want something cool that is definitely Halloween but still looks nice and clean. And how easy is this? I am making 2 quilt blocks at a time. I just take my strips and combine them by color, making sure there's always a white square in the mix. Now, I love Halloween, even though it is not a thing where I live, but I'm an English teacher, so I get to make a big deal in class every year. Nothing helps a teenager learn more English vocabulary than Halloween, let me tell you. Just look at how gorgeous these blocks are, and how fast was that? All 12 of them. This is going to be a very spooky Halloween puzzle. You can definitely tell without adding anything else that this is a Halloween quilt. Okay, time to make our sandwich real quick before we make it glow in the dark. And I didn't do quilt as you go today because if one of my ideas work, I want to be able to see it from the back of the fabric also. And it wouldn't look as crisp if there were quilt lines on there, even if I use the same color thread. I'll show you what I mean in a while. Can I just say, if this ends up looking half as good as I have it imagined in my head, it will be absolutely epic. Quilting does not have to be just traditional version of fabric and batting, it can be anything. And it can also be a very creative, crafty way to have fun while trying out some new things you would not be trying otherwise. And just like that, stage 1 of our project is complete. Our lovely Halloween table runner is done, and look at how stunning this is. You know, most times simple is better, and the traditional quilt blocks are still people's favorites for a reason, because they work. I mean, look at this. Now, before we step into stage 2, I need my templates. Halloween templates. We're talking jack-o'-lanterns, bats, witches' hats, spiders, ghosts, cats of course. I don't know, I'm just so excited. Now that I've got myself some templates, let's go back to our freaky science projects. Now I have some really cool glow-in-the-dark pants in all sorts of colors. They're supposed to be fabric friendly, but I guess we'll find out. I have so many questions though, so much about these can go wrong. They're also supposedly washable, and I will be leaving all the materials I use for this in the description so you can check them out if you want. So pros to using these glow-in-the-dark pens. Well, they're really easy to use. You can draw whatever you want quickly and be done. Plus, without using templates, it is a little bit risky unless you know how to draw really well, and these tips are not meant for precision at all. Glow in the dark rate, 8 out of 10. Let's leave these to dry and move on to our second option, which is glow in the dark thread. Now, this goes without saying, but you can use these glow-in-the-dark materials for anything. It does not have to be for Halloween. I am a little bit scared of using this thread on my Moody sewing machine, but look how beautiful they are. Another very helpful tip I've gotten from you is to use these nets to help with thread tension. Now I'm going to try and embroider something using this. Pros of using the glow-in-the-dark thread: it looks really cool and I am pretty sure they will last much longer than the pens. Plus you get a reversible effect. You can use any side of this and it will look cool nonetheless. The biggest con being it's really hard work. It takes a long time to create these figures and I am not sure I can get away with just doing the shape. It's not enough of that glow-in-the-dark effect. And I'm not sure it's as bright as the first one. It really is a pale glow-in-the-dark. Glow-in-the-dark rate, 6 out of 10. Yeah, maybe a 4. How fun was this though? I am telling you, I will be going glow-in-the-dark on everything from now on. It just takes things up a notch, don't you agree? And then there's this. It's some glow-in-the-dark film. Thermal, I think, and I hope it is. They use this to make shirts and whatnot. Sounds pretty straightforward. Now, I could cut this with my silhouette, but I also want to show you, you don't need fancy equipment to make this happen. The only limit here is your own creativity. The pros to this being it's super easy to use and it's the most noticeable out of all three. I really like how this is looking. The only con being, if I was doing something I wanted to use, like a quilt for a bed, this hardness really isn't what I'd want, right? Glow-in-the-dark rate, 10 out of 10. These are my options. What is your favorite? I'm not sure yet. Each and every one of them has the pros and cons, and I want this to look really, really good. I do not want this to look like a preschool project or some wacky experiment. I think I've got it, guys. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the film first and foremost because the effect is really obvious. These are my tiny little pieces made with my templates. Oh, so cute. Perfect for the white squares. Let's press them into our quilt real quick. And I'm not going to do anything else to it. Just leave it as is, but you can sew over it to stick it in place. Next, I am quilting the whole thing using my glow-in-the-dark thread using these cute little pumpkin templates. Have you ever tried doing this? I mean, it doesn't get much easier than this. You just sew on the lines to make sure the design is perfectly quilted onto your quilt, and that's it. Guys, this is looking really, really, really cool. I am loving it. Now, do we need the pens? Should I doodle around these templates with a different color and see what we get? Let's give it a try. Now, the one thing we need to know as far as glow-in-the-dark goes is it needs light. So before you place it in the dark, make sure it gets enough sunlight or artificial light to activate the glowness. The more light, the better. I am telling you, this makes such a difference. And I think I'm done. Okay, this needs to dry, but I can't wait to give it a try in the dark. Let's test this out. And here we have it, guys, my brand new Halloween table runner ready to glow in the dark. I had a blast, I hope you did too, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!